We are going to talk about Ghost of Tsushima, which is a game that very much like Horizon Zero Dawn before it, it was a game that I knew the moment I first laid eyes on it that I was a game that I was going to love. And so far, so it launched this morning. Like, we're recording on
Midnight.
Friday. It
Yeah.
launched at midnight. And I don't know about you, but I was waiting until midnight. And I was watching the clock tick down on my pre-order. 2 minutes, 30 seconds. I'm like, okay. And I'm just watching the clock tick down until midnight. And first of all, I'm going to say Sony needs to fix the whole, when a game goes live, it should just launch immediately. It doesn't. It went to 0, and then it came up with an error saying this game is not activated or something. So I had to.
Oh, mine didn't do that. Mine clicked to 0 and said ready to start.
Oh, really? No, I had to jump back out and then restart it. So it was weird.
Oh, I hadn't started yet, so I was on the dashboard and it rolled down and then it just clicked down to start.
Your microphone's wrong again.
Your microphone's wrong again.
It sounds weird anyway. So I'm actually really, really liking Ghost of Tsushima, or Tsushima, however you want to pronounce it. It's a gorgeous game. And we didn't get this for review. So, I very happily purchased the deluxe edition for this. And I jumped right in at midnight. I played for about an hour last night and then got up this morning and was playing for a couple more hours. I will say that it does take some getting used to in the combat. Like, the combat seems you can't button mash the combat on this. You have to be very, very deliberate with your combat and actually watch the enemy's movements in order to counter them or jump out of the way, because each enemy has a very distinct and different way of approaching them.
Yeah, the combat is not. Because the game itself feels so much like Assassin's Creed, you instinctively try to go to Assassin's Creed combat, and it's not that. It is entirely a different style of combat that really does. You do have to pay attention. You do have to time your movements and stuff like that. I'm really enjoying so far what I've played as well. I did the same thing as you, where I waited till midnight. I played for about an hour and a half.
Yeah.
Last night, and I've been playing throughout the day today. I'm not terrible at the combat in this. I do suck at the bow.
I don't have the bow yet. So I haven't received the bow. Where I am is very early in the game. You have to rescue the blacksmith, and I think I've only just got him then, and that's when I stopped so I could pull the video and just kind of get this ready for the show. But
okay.
So I don't have a bow yet. I just did get 2 throwing blades.
Yeah.
Which I haven't used yet. I only just unlocked them. So I do like the sort of progression in gaining new weapons, gaining new abilities. You don't just have everything at the get-go. When you first start the game, you are just a samurai. And even story-wise, he doesn't want to be an assassin, because it's against the code of a samurai.
Yeah, the honor.
It's against the honor. When you look your enemy in the eye when you deal his death, basically, right? That's the honor. Whereas going in like a thief or as an assassin is backstab and killing without honor, and it shows that little bit of struggle via the story, but it never really stops to appreciate that meaning, because it's okay, they show a little cutscene where he struggles with this concept, and then you just go on your way, backstabbing anyone you want. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, well, the first kill that he does in stealth, stealth kill, and it's a brutal kill too. He stabs the guy in the neck, then the guy doesn't die right, he pulls him to the ground and has to stab him in the stomach and groin a bunch of times, which and then he just sits there and contemplates what he's just done, and then you murder everybody else.
Exactly.
So interesting thing about, I didn't want to cut you off there, but one of the interesting things, you said you don't have the bow yet because you've just unlocked you've just saved the blacksmith.
Right.
I have not saved the blacksmith yet.
So you went a different route than I did.
I went a different path, and so I happened to do one of the other missions first. So I have my bow earlier than you do, or I guess at the same time or whatever. But I've done different missions.
Yeah, well, that's just it. I mean, when you get to the open world in Ghost of Tsushima, it's sort of like stuff, and I did
Yeah.
feel that sort of sense of being overwhelmed with, well, what am I supposed to do? Where am I supposed to? Oh, what should I be doing?
Yeah.
And it's not really clear, and I'm not sure if it's meant to be clear or meant to be like just go whatever you want. Here's some missions that are currently open. You can go and do them
Yeah.
in whatever order you want. There doesn't seem to be a leveling per se. Although I do find, and I'm sure it's going to change as the game goes, I find that I'm still sort of afraid of the enemies out in the wilderness because I still don't have that I don't have full grip on the combat yet. Like, it's not perfectly smooth for me. If there's too many enemies, I'm finding I'm getting overwhelmed.
Yeah, I found that a couple of times too. The other thing is the camera controls during battle. I've found I've died once or twice in one of those large groups of people because the camera zooms in so close to your shoulder, and then you're trying to figure out where the next enemy is coming from, and you end up getting hit a few.
Yeah, because they go all around you as well.
Not great.
Yeah, they go all around you as well.
Right.
So you're always constantly, moving the camera around to see where the next enemy is, because sometimes one could be behind you and you can't see it. I've also noticed, and I'm not sure if maybe I've missed it, but I don't know if there's like a lock-on feature, so to lock on a particular enemy. Early in the game, they tell you to focus on certain enemies by pressing the right stick, but I'm not sure, or the left stick or something, and I'm not sure how that works in live combat.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Getting used to the combat still, absolutely.
absolutely getting used to it. But we've played like what 2, maybe 3 hours of this massive game.
Oh, yeah.
So we're still very, very early in understanding the game itself. But so far, I do love what I'm seeing. I like that you get the stealth early on, so I can play the way I feel comfortable playing. And kind of, it does feel like an Assassin's Creed feudal Japan.
Yeah, it really does. Like, it's just like, where are the Templars?
Yeah, really? Where's the Animus?
Where's the Animus? Where's this tower I need to climb up to unlock this region? Like, it does feel like really does feel like if they had just slapped an Assassin's Creed on this somewhere, this feels so much like what that would have been.
Yes, and that's not a bad thing to say.
No, I mean, we both love the Assassin's Creed games, so like that's it's very enjoyable. I absolutely love the standoff mechanic.
Yes.
That it gives you, like, that's my method. I'm running in anyways. I'm not sneaking around. I love that thing. You can walk up to the front of the fort and call them out. I've actually unlocked a skill that lets you hit the second enemy that attacks you as well with one of those.
Yeah, I just got that myself.
And it's just so satisfying when the guy takes a step towards you. It's like, oh no, you're in 2 pieces now,
right?
And it's just fun.
And it's a cinematic. What it is, like the whole standoff is cinematic. It literally goes to widescreen, so it shrinks the screen a little. If you're watching on YouTube, you'll see it right now, actually. So it goes to standoff, and you literally just hold the triangle button, and then as soon as the enemy attacks, you let go, and he does this like really smooth, quick, like assassination, just like that. And as you mentioned, you then there's an ability you unlock with a skill point that will make, I guess, one other enemy will rush you, and you can finish him off in exactly the same manner. There later on, if you look through the tree, there's another one where 2 of them will rush you right after the first kill, and you can kill all 3 of them in that cinematic, insta-kill method. So it's very, very cool. I mean, I like it as well, but you got to be careful, because if there's 5 or 6 enemies behind the guy you challenged, they're all just going to come running in, and now it's a full-on battle. You can only do it to that one guy at first, right?
Yeah, it is good because it allows you to take out, like, if there's 5 guys, it lets you take out 2 of them right off the bat.
For sure. And as you get more skills and more abilities, obviously you're going to be able to dispatch them faster later on as you go. But, first couple of hours of the game, gorgeous, beautiful. The soundtrack is amazing. The music, it really feels like you're in Japan. The voice acting is phenomenal. The visuals are incredible, and I'm loving it. I'm actually in awe as I just ride my horse through this this island, and it's just how beautiful and lush and colorful everything is, you know.
Yeah, one of the things I really love is when you stumble onto a side quest, you know, like, you know, something will happen, somebody will call for your attention, you'll go over and you'll talk to them, and they'll say, like, do you want to do this mission now? And you say yes, and it gives you that almost that cinematic opening title card for that side mission. It feels like almost the side missions have that sort of cinematic experience to them for that same reason.
That's cool. I haven't actually come across one of those yet.
Well, you're missing out, sir.
Well, like I said, I had a show to prepare for. I don't just play games and then show up, you know.
I barely can play games.
Anyway, Ghost of Tsushima, I'm sure we'll talk about it more as we progress through it. It literally just launched today, and we've only played it for a few hours, but I am very much enjoying what I'm seeing of this game so far. And if you own a PS4, you definitely need to play this game. This is the last first-party game of the year, of the generation. Yeah. You know, this is it until PS5 comes along, and all I can think of is I can't wait to see this on a PS5 now. Like, how much better is this going to be?
It's going to be very, like, it's already ridiculously pretty, and I'm looking forward to the changing of the seasons when we get to see like all the cherry blossoms and stuff like that coming into the game and stuff too. It's very pretty. It's going to look even better on the PS5.
Is that happening in the game? Have you read about that? Change of seasons?
Well, I mean, I imagine because Japan's very famous for their cherry blossom season, and I could have sworn like there's a ton of like visuals, you know, in the early artwork and stuff like that showed like the pink and red leaves and stuff.
That's
right?
true. That's true. I've seen some of them in cutscenes early on, but not in the gameplay itself. But anyway, right. Ghost of Tsushima, check it out if you haven't. You definitely owe it yourself to play this game. It's fantastic.